Hey everybody, this is Caesar with Small Engine Velocity, and welcome to the last and third day. Technically, it's the third day. I got kind of upset after my whole jury duty thing, so I waited a little while to get a little bit more information so that I could provide it to you about my adventures in Juryland. As I left you last, I almost got hit by a car, and I went back for jury duty the next day, right? Just like I had been doing days before. Got up on the bike, rode up to the courthouse, parked the bike in the parking garage, and then went through the TSA type security at the front of the courthouse. What was cool, if you're a juror, you get to skip and go ahead all the way up to the front. I went all the way through to the front and then got to TSA security type stuff. And then, of course, like the 2 days before that, they said I couldn't take my helmet up to the courtroom floor. So, of course, you know, when you ride a motorcycle and you have a helmet, it kind of gets annoying sometimes because you have to carry the helmet around. You got to make sure that it's safe. You don't want to drop it. You don't want to scratch it. You don't want anyone to steal it for sure. So you go ahead and do what you got to do to keep it safe. Well, when I go to the courthouse, then I don't have to lug it upstairs. I don't have to put it in the elevator. I don't have to put it in the juror room. I don't have to accidentally forget it upstairs when I go back to my bike. So I thought it was a good thing, right? 2 times before, nothing happened. Well, the third time, something did. So just so everybody knows, and some clarity, because I've mentioned it a few times here and there in a YouTube short when I was showing the helmet lock, and then when I did a live stream, I talked about it, but there's some people who are making some comments that are inaccurate as to what happened that day, or what wasn't there, or what wasn't available. So I kind of wanted to clear that up a little bit. So the third day of jury duty, we get done. We're not done with the trial yet. We have to come back the next day. So I come back downstairs because we were in deliberation forever, and we got up downstairs about 5 o'clock. I was leaving with my new pals, which I still don't know any of their names. I never knew any of their names. So we came downstairs, right? Came out of the elevator, and there were these 2 police officers in those, like, vests, like with badges and a camera right here, and, you know, the little walkie-talkie, the back patches, sergeant, and all that stuff. So I thought, hey, cool. I'm in trouble. Like, he's like, hey, come here. And I'm like, uh-oh, what did I do? And of course, in the first few seconds of him talking to me, the first thing he says to me is, you're not in trouble. And I'm like, whoa, yes. Okay, so what's going on? He's like, well, I saw you in the video footage earlier because we were trying to figure out who you were. Well, your helmet got stolen. And I'm like, how? My helmet was in the security section. They gave me a claim ticket whenever I gave them my helmet, just like last time. I gave them the ticket, they gave me my helmet. They take it out of the secure place, they give it to me. Well, this time, they didn't give it to me because it had been stolen. So they made changes, I noticed on the last day, but they made changes to the way they do security. First, it was just a table near a wall. There was a back wall, maybe 3 feet behind it, where they kept all the stuff that they were doing. By the entrance, mind you, by the entrance. What they said in the video footage, okay, there was questions about security cameras. Yes, there's security cameras all over the place. They got security camera footage of the people who took it. So what happened was, there's a desk, person sitting in a chair like this, like me. Someone's like, over here is like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And they turn their attention and they're like, blah, 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 blah. And then someone went behind them, swoop, and took it. Of course, it's mandatory to wear masks in the courthouse, so they said the video footage showed a person with a mask. I don't have any other details. They never showed me the video or anything. It could have been stolen by leprechauns for all I know, but it was stolen. So, of course, they made changes in security in their policy because they mentioned that to me. They're like, yeah, we're going to change everything. Now, the last day I went there after we finally got a final verdict, we sat down, I gave them my helmet, and then when I gave them the claim ticket, they went all the way to like some back room, way in the back, and then came back. I was like, it took like 30 seconds for them to get it, so they must have gone really, really far to go get it. Well, so it's missing, right? It's stolen. I don't know why I mean, sure, they have cameras all over downtown and could have figured out where the guy went. The guy even told me when he was interviewing me that he'd already started looking on Facebook Marketplace to see if it would show up, which, you know, the helmet is not that original. It is a carbon fiber shark, but it did epoxy the bracket on there. So no matter what you do, there's going to be a problem with the front of the helmet, because if they try to break that off or cut it off, they have to sand it down or something. It's never going to look right because it was a naked carbon fiber helmet. As far as the GoPro and the Cena, the Cardo Freecom 4 Plus that are on there, it's probably gone. You know, so the officer asked me to get serial numbers, so that's what I did. I went home, I got serial numbers, I put it in an email. I even called Cycle Gear over in Katy, which they were graceful enough to give me the helmet, give me a copy of the receipt so I could show them that I had the receipt, and send them an email, and expected something by Monday. Nothing on Monday, nothing on Tuesday. Finally got an email back because I kept on sending messages like, well, if you can't recover it, whose responsibility it is? Anyways, let's take a moment right here for a question. If my helmet was stolen at the courthouse in their possession because they gave me a claim ticket, that claim ticket is supposed to represent my item in there, are they responsible for it? Okay, please make a comment below about that because I'd love to know what you think. There's going to be a second part to this question, so stay tuned towards the end. They say it's in investigations. I even contacted the judge of the trial that I did. He was super cool guy. I understand, you know, the stress of judges right now because apparently because of COVID, we haven't been doing any trials for a while now, and all these people have been sitting in jail waiting for their trial, and it just seems like they're waiting for nothing. But, you know, COVID, of course, everyone's got to pay attention to it, and I guess that's how they're paying attention to it. So finally, I get a message back from the judge. I use his Facebook page of all places because he's a public figure, so... But he responds to me, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. The judge responded directly to a Facebook message that I sent him. So, he says that he's going to call and check on the case number and see if he can ask them to prioritize it. Great. My second question to him was, in the case that they don't find it, what is my options for getting it replaced or financial compensation for the helmet? He said, I probably have to take it to small claims court. That was a letdown for me. Now, if I left my helmet at, let's just say, a restaurant, and they had a coat closet, and they put my helmet or my motorcycle jacket in the coat closet and it got stolen, it's automatically the restaurant's responsibility to go and replace that for me. I mean, I hope you agree. You know, there would be no question they would do it. They would have to do it, or I would have to take them to court. Not, I have to take them to court to figure out if I'm even gonna get anything. Like, no. But no, I didn't. I decided that it's not worth my time to put the effort out to go get a lawyer, to put in for small claims court, to figure out if I'm gonna get, because I'm gonna have to pay a lawyer, like, and then that's gonna cost me money. Maybe I can get my lawyer fees paid for if I go. I may consult one to ask them about my helmet being stolen from their possession, just to see what my options are. Actually, that's a good idea. Probably do that. I mean, it's not gonna hurt me to say, hey, this happened, do I have a case? Anyways, yeah, cool. I just talked myself into doing the lawyer route. I did check with my motorcycle insurance because on my motorcycle I have comprehensive, which covers theft. And when you think of the word comprehensive, you think of it as it is comprehensive. It covers everything. Comprehensive to me sounds like everything, right? Everything. Well, apparently it covers motorcycle accessories, and anything that might be on the bike, whatever, but it doesn't cover safety equipment. It doesn't cover helmets, it doesn't cover jacket, it doesn't cover boots. I thought that it would. Apparently that's an add-on to comprehensive. So comprehensive isn't comprehensive because you gotta add stuff to it. Sounds ridiculous, right? Well, that's how insurance works. They gotta find different ways to charge you for little different things. So if you do have comprehensive on your motorcycle, Make sure to ask if you want to cover the safety equipment that you ride with that helmet to go back and forth. Basically your roof of your bike and your doors and your wall. Stuff that protects you from being injured, which should be covered anyway because technically, as far as I'm concerned, it's part of the bike. Be sure to call your insurance and ask them about safety equipment coverage and make sure that that's covered, because if you spend a lot of money on a helmet, that extra $3 or $5 or whatever it costs a month would probably be worth it. Anyways, that's where I'm at right now. I got another email saying it's been forwarded with investigations. I haven't really written them anything lately. I don't really think that there's much that they're going to be able to do as far as recovery. And as far as financial compensation, you know, it's the government. Like, they'll give me stimulus checks and all sorts of junk, but are they going to give me money for something that was stolen while they were responsible for it? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and check out with a lawyer and see what I can get with that. But anyways, that's what I wanted to update. The whole experience with, the last question. The last question is, shouldn't the government or shouldn't that building or shouldn't whoever's in charge of it just say, hey, it was in our possession and stolen, and then find a way through some policy to compensate me for it? Because it sounds ridiculous that I have to go to court for a helmet that was stolen at a courthouse. It just seems dumb. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'd love to see the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Looks a little extreme, but it's good.